They're only
Yeah.
gonna have to take down that stuff.
We need a
gap.
Thank you, Sheila. It's 8:30 a.m., so I'm going to be starting this meeting of the Tuesday, March 18th Economic Development Committee. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Chair Yu,
I'm here.
Vice Chair Glassy, Member Rutledge. Here. Member Etkoff, Member Childress.
Yeah.
And Member Heather.
Here. Great. We have a quorum. So welcome everyone to the Economic Development Committee meeting and happy Women's History Month. In recognition of Women's History Month, thanks to the amazing Lisa Schbach and Amy Everett from Working at DuPage, I'm pleased that we have two special guests, local women business owners here with us this morning for our spotlight on women-owned businesses. So later in the meeting, we'll be hearing from Catherine Toyega and Maria Cavarias regarding their businesses. Catherine's business is in Addison, and she runs CT Mechanical. She owns CT Mechanical, and Maria Cavarias is in Wheaton, actually just right across the street from us, and she owns BioScan Tech. So they'll be talking to us regarding their businesses, their previous collaboration with Working at DuPage, and their experience doing business in DuPage County. And as the Economic Development Committee, we advise the county board on economic development and support job growth and strengthening our local businesses in the county. So hearing directly from business owners can provide our committee with valuable insights. And I'm very much looking forward to this part of the meeting. Thanks. All right, so I don't think we have any public comment.
We do not.
I'd like a motion to approve the minutes from February 18, 2025. I have a motion and a second. Are there any changes or revisions to these minutes? And seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. And for the incumbent worker training, I have item 6A 25-0736, Border Heating and Air Conditioning Company. And I'd like to receive and place on file, 25-0736, also 25-0737, Mine Site, and 25-0738, the Mechanical Automation Company. Can I get a motion to receive and place on file?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes. And finally, with regard to the change orders, can I get a motion on 25-0599, decrease purchase order 6457-0001 serve issued to Turning Point Autism Foundation, the amount of $75,000, extend the contract through September 30, 2025 to continue services to youth in DuPage County. I did hear a motion, and I think I also received a second from Member Heather.
Motion.
Oh, did I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Member Rutledge. And any discussion with regard to this item? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes. Thank you very much. So we're going to move directly on to our spotlight on women-owned businesses. And Lisa is going to do some quick introductions.
Sure, we really zoomed through that. I mean, you know, pretty fast. So good morning, everybody. As Chair you stated, we're thrilled to have a couple of our local women business owners here with us this morning, both of whom have been over the years great collaborators and partners to us at Working at DuPage in our workforce development efforts. And so I think we'll start with Catherine. Catherine is the owner, as Chair you mentioned, of CT Mechanical in Addison, which she'll tell you more about, so I don't want to steal your thunder completely. But what I would like to let you all know about Catherine, we initially connected when I was doing research when we were starting what we called our Breaking Boundaries Initiative, and maybe you'll speak a little bit about that, but an exemplary, not only businesswoman, but an example to others in our community, really in the Chicago metro region, of what I've talked to the committee before about non-traditional occupations for women. Catherine is a shining example of that. So enough about that. I'll let Catherine speak to you guys for a few minutes.
Good morning. I'm Catherine Toyega, and thanks for having me here today.
Which way? Right here? Do
Okay.
you want to sit or are you okay?
I'm good standing.
Okay, thank you.
Owner of CT Mechanical. I started CT Mechanical in February of '08. It's a phenomenal time to start. But actually, you know, in hindsight, it really was because it was just me. I always say me and my dining room table. And I started year one in my house at that time in Itasca. And I did $1.7 million worth of business that year. Oh, we're HVAC contractor. That's probably something you need to know. So we do heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Mostly for hospitals, schools, commercial interiors, all commercial type work. A lot of work at the airports currently as well. And started there at 1.7 million all by myself, and then gradually moved and grew up. Had a little office in Wooddale for a little bit, Lombard, and now we've settled into Addison. And now we do about $30 million in volume a year. And the real big thing for me has always been about getting women into our field. You know, as a woman in this industry, I find it very, it's not intentionally discriminatory. It is a lot of ingrained bias that comes across. You know, I can give an example, just happened to me probably 2 months ago. One of my 4 people, 35-year-old gentleman, came in my office and he asked me, I don't know, what do I do if a woman comes to my job site? And I'm like, oh, like, did she just ask me that? I mean, I was glad he was comfortable enough to say something to me, because it's, again, he's not doing this out of trying to exclude it. He wants to help. But just alone in that question, he doesn't realize he's already making assumptions that she's going to not be capable of doing the job. So it's those kinds of things that I'm very ultra aware of. And my answer to him, of course, was, you should be asking everybody in the field, how do I make your job easier? How can I make you safer? What tools do you need to be more efficient at your work? So, you know, that'll make our company safer overall. So I'm very aware of that. So breaking boundaries is a real important initiative for me. We currently have 4 women that work at CT Mechanical. I've got 2 pipe fitters, 2 sheet metal workers, one's in service, the others are in the field. And you know, I'm glad to have them because I feel like it's a good environment for them to be. But breaking boundaries is a good way for people to understand what this field is all about. The way it works, and I'm a union contractor, so you know, we have to pay union wages. And so everybody, my husband and I had a huge argument about this about 10 years ago. Luckily, we got through it. But he's like, well, they get paid the same hourly wage. And I'm like, yes, they do. But the woman gets laid off quicker. She doesn't get hired as much. She's assumed that, you know, well, let's hire her for the balancing part. Well, that's just a small aspect of it. When she really needs to know how to lift things in the air, lift heavy things in the air consistently and doing it safely. So there's that kind of thing that we need to overcome. So it's been really important for me to do that kind of thing. So even though they have the same wage, they work less hours. So therefore that they don't make as much. So it's really important for me to make sure that they go in knowing what's happening. I'm a big proponent of CWITs, Chicago Women in the Trades. And they do a great job of training women to understand what it's going to be like in the field. And currently, I looked it up before I got here, we are doing just under $3 million worth of work in DuPage County. I know. Yeah. It's been really good work. A lot of my work tends to be in Chicago because of our focus. And it's a little, I don't think it's anything to do with DuPage County. It's a little more challenging for me because my relationships just happen to be with contractors that do work in the city. But to me, we're doing great. Like, we're doing all the work for performance services at the 4 high schools this summer, doing full day kindergarten with Frederick Quinn. I have the list, but that's the majority of our big work we have going on here.
Awesome,
thank you.
Oh, question?
Yeah.
Yes, Member Rutledge.
How did you get into HVAC?
Well, I was a young child. Interesting. So I'm a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
And yep, and I did design for 6 years. And I decided I didn't want to sit behind a desk all day. And I've, you know, because like design's very theoretical, like it's math, you know, this is supposed to work on this paper, it's supposed to work. So I wanted to do more hands-on stuff. So I went to construction and I worked for Admiral Heating and Vent there in Cook County for 10 years. And then just decided I didn't see my career path moving there any longer. And the funny part is I quit, decided I was gonna open an organic food restaurant.
Did you?
I did, yes. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And my girlfriend who owns, she owns, not Chant, Ground Level 105. Yeah, I went to college with her. She had me work a street fair because I was unemployed. I was like, this is fun, like, and as I'm peddling dollar egg rolls to drunk people, I was like, there's no way, there's no way. So, yeah. So I decided to get into something I know. I mean, I know this industry, I'm good at it. And what's been really, really great for me is learning how to do it like me, you know, not doing it like everybody else, which has been challenging because, you know, it's a different industry.
Can I just
Thank you
say,
for that, yeah.
if you want to see a little bit more of Catherine's personality, just take a look at their website and their social media feeds, because I put in notes to remember you just kind of introduced yesterday. Your personality is like all over the
Oh, good.
humor and yeah, so definitely does business, you know, her own way, but it's great to hear how successful.
Well, it's really fun to read. That's not very easy. to
Yeah,
read about.
right, it's an
Yeah.
HVAC contracting website, it's like, it's fun to read,
Right.
so. A couple of notes I forgot to mention during my introductions, also of interest probably to you, Member Rutledge, registered energy professional.
Yay.
So with HVAC, we know that that is a huge thing for sustainability is these buildings and how much energy is wasted. So I wanted to recognize that. And also active board member of women construction owners and executives. And I think you serve as a mentor to many younger women, right, entering into construction.
Yeah, it actually started She Builds in 2017, which is an organization that's just dedicated to gathering women in construction. So the whole point is we just try to make an event, you know, that's for women that women like this year, we're gonna go club shooting, skeet shooting. And we, and it's just about women making authentic connections. You know, some of the people in here my age know, like when I started off in engineering, I just remember them bringing me to a woman and going, Catherine, here's Julie. She's going to be your mentor, like, you know, because she's the only other woman in the whole company that, you know, is an engineer. So I just want to foster genuine relationships and genuine connections so people can better themselves in careers.
Are there any other questions
Well
for
done.
Catherine? Okay, thank you.
All right,
so
thank
much,
you.
Catherine.
Thank you so much. And next up, are you both gonna speak? Are you both gonna stand, or Marie?
I'll speak. She'll.
Okay,
Chin
you'll
me.
back her
Yeah.
up. Okay. So we have Marie Cavadias here from Bioscan Tech, which is our
Yes.
neighbor here, right across Manchester Road. Bioscan Tech is a super interesting company. Again, I'll let you do most of the talking about it, but also really a non-traditional field, I would say, for women.
Yeah.
Being that it's security involved, and I'll let you talk about that. But we initially met, our business services team connected with Marie years ago now. And Marie has been an excellent partner of ours with our young adult internship program. In fact, I think you're starting an intern or
Yeah,
just
next
started
week,
an
yeah.
intern next week. One of our young adult clients will be doing a paid internship there that our grant dollars support and cover the wages for. Also currently using one of our grants, so maybe I'll let you talk a little bit about that. Marie, the company has been in business, I didn't put it in my notes, but I want to say 2012.
Yes.
2012, certified digital forensics examiner, belongs to all kinds of associations, including the Illinois Police Association, Illinois Security Professionals Association, is an Ability Links disability service provider, and on and on. So lots of great things to hear about here as well, from another local business owner, Marie.
Hello. I'm kind of shy talking in front of a large group. So I established Bioscan Tech in 2012. And I decided after being in law enforcement and in security for 10 years that I wanted to retire from that. And so I started two things. My buddy was in the detective division for the state police, and he's like, well, you know how you use a camera, right? And So he just encouraged me to network with police departments to start going around and doing photography and everything, because my degree was in multimedia design, which I graduated when the dot-coms busted, so I couldn't get a job to save my life. So, so I did. I went around to police departments and started volunteering to take photos and everything, but this was like 20 years ago. So I started BioScanTech after his encouragement of different things. So I started by doing fingerprinting, manually fingerprinting. So this was going to businesses and doing their ink card prints that they might need for like notary or insurance, things like that. And then after the years, it just evolved into doing it digitally. So I got certified by the state police for digital fingerprinting. And then we moved, we added the FBI, so we're FBI channelers at our location. We do passport photos. We added, we do printing for DuPage Airport. So that all kind of evolved into the past, where it is now. And this year we added TSA for, we can only do it for all the employees and pilots and things like that. So we added all that. And then I started a special neurodiverse internship program, and which WorkNet DuPage helped me foster and build. And we had a couple already gone through the program, and now we have one more coming up. Then I added the right as COVID hit, we just finished a digital forensic certification, which we added into our business model. And so we kind of had a lapse there because of COVID, so we couldn't actually like utilize it. So we've been trying now to rebuild that up, and we've networked with some pretty dynamic organizations like Urban Software and ADF Solutions, which we just got the grant for to help train for you have to have specialty certifications for ADF Solutions. Many of the forensic software, you have to have those things. But the biggest part and hardest part has been because being challenged by being a woman in digital forensics, because it's really not common at all. And a couple of people had said that the only way they could get their foot in the door again is by volunteering and things like that. So, so we are trying to figure out a means to build so we can get a special, our interns into, get them into a way where they can get their foot in the door for working at an agency for digital forensics. But we've been across the street now for 6 years. Otherwise, we were down on Naper Boulevard in the Park Office Complex. We had a slight pause in 2014 because I had a brain injury, and then everything had to cease for about 2 years. I had to learn to walk and talk and everything like that. But I kept going. So here we are today. So.
Thank you so much, Marie. Other questions for Marie? Sorry.
Just want to acknowledge your sorry, Chair.
No, go ahead.
Acknowledge your resilience and getting back up and doing all the amazing things that you're doing and breaking all the glass ceilings. To both of you, actually.
Yes, Member Childress.
You a detective, but is that what I heard, or?
A
You know you
police
were a
officer.
Are you a police officer?
Yeah, for 10 years. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a question actually. So I know that you are a certified MBE or Women Business Enterprise and Disability Business Enterprise. And do you feel like that has helped you in DuPage, or those certifications work in your business favor?
Yes, we just, well, last year or the year before, when they started the new bid model, I think it is, they put up the portal and everything. So yeah, that has helped us a bit. Yeah.
That's great to hear. It's great. So I really appreciate the fact that both of you guys really pay it forward in working with younger generations, mentoring other individuals. And I know Marie specifically, like you were saying, that you are working with opportunities for neurodivergent individuals. And it just so happens that March is also Disability Awareness Month, I believe, too. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you so much for coming here, right? Any other questions? Okay, I was just going to say that we should take a photo.
Absolutely.
Would that be all right?
Do you want to take one with the whole committee and the ladies?
Okay, great.
So my MO is I usually have everybody against that wall, if that's okay.
That's a lame excuse, Paula.
Don't even worry.
Well, Paula.
Michael, you're.
She's abandoning you.
I know, I see that. Just now you have to come in too.
Oh, okay. Remember you, I thought that I
Actually, excuse me, could I get one with just board members and the guests?
Okay.
And then I'll get one with staff. Is that
Yes.
cool?
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, you're a guest. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna move some chairs, you guys.
Ready?
Oh, sorry about that.
Where are we at?
Right? Can I go
Joan,
first?
Joan,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much. Lisa, come on in.
Wow.
All right, she almost got out of it.
Not quite. Great, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you both so much.
All right.
Just as one little last note, I forgot to mention, I thought it was interesting. I tried to do some research ahead of this meeting. 50 years ago, women owned approximately 405,000 businesses in the US, which was like 4.5% of all businesses. And in 2024, women own over 14 million businesses in the US, which is almost 40%. So thought that was an
Yeah,
interesting
I
note.
actually, yeah, thank you,
There's some
Lisa.
great examples here.
I was actually going to mention that statistic.
Oh.
Great minds, great minds.
Social media one time, when are you gonna have a white man's day?
Yeah. But I am going to say that the fact that we have so many women-owned businesses in DuPage is a wonderful testament to our business community. But I also want to just highlight the fact that at Choose DuPage, we have something called Connect DuPage, which really teaches people on how to become a minority or women-owned business and a certified one here in DuPage and how to do business in DuPage County. And also we have Innovation DuPage, which is our small business incubator. And I don't know if you guys worked with anybody over at Innovation DuPage before, but they're also a great organization to help women-owned businesses, I hope, more and more in the future. So anyways, thank you, everybody. Moving on to old business. Do we have any old business? Yes, Member Rutledge.
Thank you, Chair Yu. I've heard the word grant a lot this morning, so I guess I'm looking for an update on the impact of any grant pullbacks that you're going to experience.
Thank you for that question, Member Rutledge.
So the continuing resolution, the stopgap funding bill went through. So for the time being, we're fine through the end of September, which I actually wasn't super worried about. I'm more concerned about what's going to happen October 1, because our program year, as you all know, runs July 1 through June 30. And we always get a small slice of our total allocation for that first quarter. And then when the federal fiscal year starts in October, we get the bulk of our funding. So if there's an issue there, or if there are further rescissions or budget cuts at that point, that's when I believe we will feel it more. On a somewhat related note, the House is still considering the so-called WIOA reauthorization bill, which is called, the acronym I know, ASWA. It's a Stronger Workforce for America would be the new bill. If they reauthorize that legislation, that would give me more comfort. Like if they just did this, they're going to fund it. But up until the point when that happens, everything is still somewhat in the air. We haven't felt any immediate effects of anything that's going on this far, knock wood, that's somewhere in the walls here. So far, so good.
Are you having like Plan B discussions even at this point?
Well, I think staff did have that conversation earlier on, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, being that we're essentially 100% federally funded,
Who knows?
Yeah, it would take there, I don't even know what that would look like to make up what's essentially every year like a $5 to $5.5 million budget. So we're just kind of have to roll it with it and see what direction they go in.
Thank you for the update.
Thank you. Any other old business? Okay, any new business? All right, I don't see any. So without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.